I said, I love fashion and I don't want to just shop. Remember? I was like, I just don't want it to be about shopping. I want to somehow create with it. Do something.
And then we had an impromptu meeting, a board meeting down in Rancho Mirage of the Fusion Company.
Yes.
And we drove down to Rancho Mirage. And
like right after Christmas. It was like December 27th.
That would have been 2003.
Yes.
And
Gracie was the store.
It was a store.
Little tiny 600
I went to the meeting
foot store.
And you hung out in Rancho Mirage.
And found this store.
Rancho Mirage?
No, Rancho Santa Fe.
Santa Fe.
Further down.
Yeah. Rancho
really
Santa
pretty, like the most expensive enclave in the country at
Rancho
that point.
Santa Fe.
Right.
And I went to the meeting.
That's right.
And you hung out in that store. And when I came back from the meeting, you said, I found out what we're going to do. We're going to open a store.
We didn't have anybody that backed us. We did it ourselves. We just put our own money into it.
I remember we got the papers to rent the space, and we got in the car to drive to the realtor's office, right? We were driving down Ventura Boulevard, and we were looking at each other like,
I remember this.
Are we really going to do this? Wait a minute.
Should we sign it?
Once we sign this, we're going to have to do it.
Oh, God, that was
and
scary.
we pulled off. We pulled into like some strip mall.
I know we did.
And it was like,
I know we did.
Wait a minute. We really want to do this?
And you're like, are you sure? And I was like, I don't know. Are you sure? And then we did it.
We finally did it. I had some designs. I did some drawings. I hired Ricardo to help with me. And then I hired a contractor. I forget where. Somebody turned me on to this guy.
I don't remember that.
He was a licensed contractor.
I don't remember that part.
And he came in, and the first thing we wanted to do was put up a wall between what became the office and the rest of the store. There was no wall there.
Oh,
and so he started to put up this wall using
Right.
2x4s, and they were all wonky. And I go, but wait a minute, that's not how that's supposed to look. I know when you build a wall, you got to do it. They're 16 inches apart or whatever, and then it's like, and it was all wonky. And I said, are you really a licensed contractor? And the guy goes, yeah. And I said, well, can I see your license? And he pulls out his California driver's license.
Stop it.
No, seriously. And I said, wait a minute. And he said, well, I don't have a contractor's license, but I got my driver's license. And I fired him on the spot, And so then it was like me. It was like I was going to build it.
That part I remember. You were like, I'm going to do it. But we should also tell everybody that you did want to be an architect.
I had, originally in life, I wanted to be an architect.
I think that's a good little thing to say before you got into your acting class, because your architect class was closed at school, right? Or was something like that?
I wanted to be an architect. I got into Berkeley somehow. Now, I still have this architecture stuff in my bloodstream.
In your body,
So I designed the store.
Which I helped a little bit because of my vision that I wanted, and then you built it.
I built it. And it took us exactly 45 days to demo
Which is fast,
and build
you guys.
that store.
Fast.
And it ended up costing us $44,500 from soup to nuts.
Which
all the
cheap.
Computers, all of the stuff for sale, point of sale stuff, everything.
And we learned as we went along. We had no idea what we were fucking doing.
No, we didn't.
Nothing. No idea. Just liked fashion.
So you love to shop, right?
I love to shop.
So this is the great part of the story. So we opened the store on Cinco de Mayo, 2003.
Big party, because that's what you have to do, right? War. Get it going.
We had a big party, and we had press and all that stuff, and you loved to shop, and you and the manager were going down, Kathy Shaw, you guys were shopping every day.
Well, buying for the store, but nobody really knows how much to buy for a store.
Nobody knows how
much. They
much.
really don't.
Famous last words. Well, after about a month, I remember arriving at the store one morning and opening the door and not being able to walk from the back of the store to the front because it was piled so high with boxes.
We overbought.
You overbought.
You cannot believe.
We should have gone out of business within a month.
Well, and we would have, but Oprah
Winfrey.
Oprah Winfrey saved us.
I got a call from the Oprah people, and they said, you guys got a website? No. Well, maybe you want to think about that because normally what happens, Oprah gets about 7 million people who watch your show on a daily basis, and about 10% of those people go to the website if whoever's there, and then about 10% of those people end up buying something from the website. So I did the math, and I go, well, say 10% of 7 million, it's like 700,000.
Yeah.
10% of that is like 70,000. So like a lot of people are going to want to buy something from us, and we have nothing to sell, and we don't even have a website.
Because people weren't buying clothes from your store on a website at that point.
Well, I mean, you couldn't really sell clothes from your store on the website because you didn't know how much inventory you had.
Right.
You know, in order to sell something on a website, you had to know you had X number of things to sell.
And plus, it wasn't happening at that point, I don't believe.
It was just beginning to happen. So I had to really learn. I bought websites for dummies. and online sales for dummies, which existed. I read through that, and then I was talking to the website guy about, you know, I didn't know what a SKU was, an SKU.
Oh, right.
I didn't know anything about how you did online sales, but I knew we had to have products. And so we decided we were going to make a candle. And I found the Illume Candle Company, which was way on Lancashire in North Hollywood somewhere.
Yep.
And I drove out there. And I just walked in and I said, I need to make a candle. I need to make 3 different scents of candles.
I think we did 2.
2 or 3, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And I said, I got to do it right away. I got to figure out the scent, figure out the candle, figure out the wax, figure out the box, figure out the logo. All that has to happen in 3.5 weeks. You know.
Yeah.
And I spent all this time with them going through all their waxes, all their candles, all their scents.
And then you bring it home to me, and I would say, I like this one, go with this one.
But we had no time. So we ended up getting these candles made, and I had to make
T-shirts,
a logo.
Sweatpants with it on the butt.
And we still have some of those.
I have them up in Canada.
And the logo, I took a pen, a pencil, and I went like this over the logo that we had, and made this crazy looking logo and put it on the box.
It was cool. And we made brown and aqua were our colors.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah, it was beautiful. Anyway, so we get everything together. We know that there's going to be 70,000 people buying stuff from our website, which is just beginning to exist. And we get all this stuff.
And you have to have a call center.
You have to have a call center. So I hired a call center in Oregon with 100 people to take all this, a massive number of tens of thousands of calls that were going to come through. And we had pallets, and I had to hire a fulfillment center. I had to deal with this guy, you know, pallets of stuff. People are going to buy like crazy. You're going to be, on the day of the show.
We had to have product in bags to take to the audience members.
Well, that's another story, because we had to make bags. And we had to put all of the bits and pieces that were in the gift bags in the bags. The bags had to be loaded into a van, and then we had to get them somehow from LA to Chicago. And somehow...
Did you have to hire a plane? How did we get them there?
What happened was we had it all set up, and the whole thing fell through. Whatever plane we had ready to go, take all this stuff, fell through. And our manager, Kathy Shaw, drove out to Burbank Airport, Van Nuys Airport, somewhere, and she was fit to be tied. She was like running around through the airport, and she was saying, I need to get Chicago. And some guy said, wait a minute, we're flying to Chicago now. We're taking a heart to Chicago for an open heart transplant.
No.
They were transporting a heart from LA to Chicago at that very moment.
And she found the plane?
And they said, you can put your stuff on our plane. That's what happened.
I forgot that.
We put all of our stuff on the plane that was taking the heart to Chicago.
Unbelievable.
And then the next day we flew and we met with Oprah, and you know, I'll never forget walking up to her on stage, and to her upstage ear, I whispered, "Thank you."
Yeah, because let's remember, I overbought by $200,000. Let's say
easily $200,000,
and our first day, the sales were
$20,000 the first day. I mean,
just huge.
There was a line around the block.
Yeah.
The very next week, there was we had to get those rope things out and had a guy outside to make sure that the line was kept, because the store was completely filled with people.
We could not keep merchandise. People were pulling shit out of the bags.
I know. It was fantastic.
It was insanity, and it's what saved us.
But we did not sell one thing on the website. Not one person.
Not one phone call.
Came. To not one phone call to the call center.
100 people that were waiting at the call center.
Not one order from the website. And we had pallets of stuff. And thank God we had it, because we ended up selling it.
We sold it in the store over time. But yes, we didn't sell anything, did we?